Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Colleen C to Serendipity. I'm Colleen. Today is January 1st, 2023, and I would like to bring you this day in history. On January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln signs the Emancipation Proclamation, attempting to stitch together a nation mired in a bloody civil war. Abraham Lincoln made a last-ditch but carefully calculated decision regarding the institution of slavery in America. By the end of 1862, things were not looking good for the Union. The Confederate Army had overcome Union troops in significant battles, and Britain and France were set to officially recognize Confederacy as a separate nation. In an August 1862 letter to the New York Tribune editor Horace Greeley, Lincoln confessed, "My paramount object in this struggle is to save the Union, and it's not either to save or destroy slavery." Lincoln hoped that declaring a national policy of emancipation would stimulate a rush of South enslaved people to the ranks of the Union Army, thus depleting the Confederacy labor force on which the Southern states depending to wage war against the North. Lincoln wanted to unveil the proclamation until he could do so on the heels of the Union military success on September 22nd, 1862, after a battle of Antietam, he issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, declaring all enslaved people free in the rebellious states as of January 1st, 1863. Lincoln and his advisors limited to proclamation language to slavery in the states outside the federal control as of 1862, failing to address the contentious issue of slavery within the nation's border states. In his attempt to appease all parties, Lincoln left many loopholes opening that civil rights advocates would be forced to tackle in the future. Republican abolitionists in the North rejoiced that Lincoln had finally threw his full weight behind the cause for which they had elected him. Though enslaved people in the South failed to rebel in masses with the signing of the proclamation, they slowly began to liberate themselves as Union armies marched to Confederate territories. Towards the end of the war, enslaved people left their former masters in droves. They fought and grew corps for the Union Army, performing other military jobs, and worked in North mills. Though the proclamation was not greeted with joy by all Northerners, particularly Northern white workers and troops, fearful of jobs competition from an influx of formerly enslaved people, it had the distinct benefit of convincing Britain and France to steer clear of official diplomatic relations with the Confederacy. Though the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation signified Lincoln's growing resolve to preserve the Union at all costs, he still rejoiced in the ethical correctness of his decision. Lincoln admitted on New Year's Day in 1863 that he never felt more certain that I was doing right than I do in signing this paper. Although he waffled on the subject of slavery in the early years of his presidency, he would thereafter be remembered as the great emancipator. To the Confederate sympathizers, however, Lincoln signing the Emancipation Proclamation reinforced their image of him as a hated despot and ultimately inspired his assassination by John Wilkes Booth on April 4th, 1865. I want to thank you for watching today, and I want you to stay safe and stay blessed and have a great 2023. And remember, I go live every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And remember to smile, because I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. Bye. I'll see you in my next video.